当时一谈好的是16.8万，我妈妈说呢，她把我养这么大不容易，这么便宜就把我给嫁了，她心里很难过。然后呢，她就打电话给我男朋友，让他来接亲的时候再带6万块钱，算是一个上车礼，不然不准我上车。我男朋友呢，并没有说不同意，满口就答应了。等到结婚的时候呢，我家里的亲戚朋友都在，从早上等到中午，也没有等到我男朋友的车队过来，我就打电话给他嘛。从中午打到晚上，终于接通了。我说今天我们结婚，你怎么没有来啊？他说他忘了，他跟他爸妈坐着飞机到海南旅游去了，才刚下飞机。我说你这不是开玩笑吗？我亲戚朋友都在这儿，你让我多没面子呀？他说不是你先开玩笑的吗？不拿6万不准你上车，那我要是去了你不上车，没面子的不就是我了吗？这事怎么能怨我呢？我说我妈妈只是想看看你什么态度。她说我要结婚了，她舍不得，那你满口答应了，你没说不行啊。我们也不是真的想要这个钱，这个钱我不要了，行了吧？明天我们结婚可以吗？谁知道他说不要了，这个婚他也不结了，他拿着结婚的钱带着他父母到处去玩玩，好的很。我真的是造了孽了，遇到这么不负责任的男人。现在我的亲戚朋友根本就抬不起头，你说我该怎么办呀？
是去年拿着这个前女友的彩礼出来旅游的，是吧？是我的。
Friends, I'm currently in Beijing. You might not believe this, but something quite dramatic happened. Do you still remember that man from last year who took 168,000 yuan in bride price, didn't end up getting married, and instead took his parents to travel all over the country alone? That's right, it's him. Now, let's talk with him about how he feels today. Yeah, lately a lot of people have been asking me, do I regret not getting married back then? Well, it's been almost a year now, and honestly, I don't regret it at all. Right now, I'm traveling around freely on my own, with the money I saved up, going wherever I want, exploring all the beautiful places across our country. To be honest, it feels incredibly relaxing and enjoyable. Although I haven't traveled the entire world, I've pretty much toured across China, and it's been amazing. If I had forced myself to go through with that wedding back then, I'd probably be divorced by now, and the 168,000 yuan bride price would have completely vanished. At the end of the day, that money would have just been given away like a charity donation, and what I would have gotten in return would not be happiness, but exhaustion and stress. Nowadays, the pressure in society is overwhelming, especially when it comes to marriage. So many people are suffocated by things like real estate ownership, bride price, and financial status. If you listen to my advice, only go for a girl who truly doesn't care about whether you have money, and who doesn't demand any bride price. Because only a woman like that genuinely loves you and sincerely wants to live life with you. She's in it for the relationship, not for your wallet. On the other hand, those girls who start the relationship by laying down conditions, saying they won't marry without hundreds of thousands of yuan in bride price, they were never planning to live a good life with you. Even if you bite the bullet and marry her, it won't last long. Within a year, or even within 3 months, you'll probably be divorced. Any relationship that begins with money as its foundation is doomed to be unstable. Money and love are, by nature, two completely different things. A girl who only cares how much money you give her won't truly love you. She'll just think you're an easy target, too soft, too naive. In her heart, she's not really caring about you. She's calculating what she can get out of you. The more you give, the less she will appreciate it. In fact, she'll start to look down on you. When your ex-girlfriend demanded such a high bride price from you, the truth is, the more you gave, the more she would think you're incapable. Because what she wanted was never the person you are now. She wanted the version of you that could fulfill all her unrealistic dreams. Even if you sold everything you owned, borrowed from everyone you know, and scraped together 200,000 or 300,000 yuan, she would still feel that you're not good enough for her. So instead of wasting time and energy on someone like that, it's better to invest in yourself. Use your money to enrich your own life, build your skills, upgrade your abilities, change your future. When you become a better version of yourself, the right woman who truly understands you will appear naturally. Over the past year or so, I've met quite a few new friends, including some new girls. Now I've learned to view relationships more rationally. I don't rush into love anymore. Instead, I spend time getting to know someone, to see if they're truly worth being with. Brothers and sisters, you see it now, right? I'm a living, breathing example of reality. Never be a simp. A simp always ends up with nothing. Let me leave you with just one last sentence. Rather than spending money being a simp, It's better to spend money traveling the world.
这个高价彩礼的问题，不要靠政府，不要靠国家。
Regarding the issue of exorbitant bride prices, there is no need to rely on the government to step in, nor should we count on the state to legislate interventions. The real solution lies within each and every one of us, especially you, the person directly involved. As long as you have enough backbone, enough independence, and the courage to say no, and as long as you're not bound by so-called traditional values, then the issue of high bride prices will naturally be resolved. According to the news reports and various social phenomena I've been following lately, I've noticed that more and more young men are waking up. Their awareness and sense of responsibility are steadily increasing. They are beginning to refuse blind compromises. For example, quite a few young men today, when faced with demands for 200,000 yuan or 300,000 yuan as bride price, may appear to agree and even pay up. But if any issues arise after marriage, even if it's just a few days, a week or two, or a few months, they will immediately resort to legal measures to demand the bride price be returned. If the other party refuses, they take it to court. The fact that these cases are happening more and more frequently shows that our male compatriots are finally standing tall. This is a commendable and encouraging attitude. We must understand that, when faced with injustice, instead of swallowing our anger and playing the fool, we should protect our rights through legal channels. That is what a civilized person in modern society should do. Especially with something as controversial as bride price, it is even more important for us to know the law, obey the law, and use the law. Let's talk about another situation. The bride price was agreed upon, but on the day of the wedding, the price suddenly went up. For instance, it was agreed beforehand that the bride price would be 300,000 yuan, but on the wedding day, the bride's parents, her mother, her father, the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, suddenly demanded an extra 50,000 yuan, saying, "If you don't pay more, the bride won't get on the wedding car and the wedding won't go ahead." In many cases, the groom gives in because of pride or the presence of guests, and ends up reluctantly paying. But now, more and more grooms are fighting back. Some say outright, "I'm not giving the extra 50,000. I don't want the bride price anymore either. The wedding is cancelled." The bride then panics and pleads with the groom, saying, "All the relatives and friends are already here. Let's just not add the extra money, let's go through with the wedding." But the groom still firmly replies, "Even if the relatives and friends are all here, this wedding is off." That's what it means for a man to have backbone. If you dare to hold your ground and call it off in public, those who try to exploit the situation will have no place to hide. So, in the end, stop blaming society, the government, or the system. Very often, it's actually because we ourselves lack the courage and the principles. If you always bow your head and give in, the other side will continue to push their limits, to the point where they're practically sitting on your neck and taking a dump. But if you have a clear stance and boundaries, those unreasonable demands will stop showing up so often. And there's an even simpler and more direct solution. Draw your line in the sand. For example, if the bride price exceeds 200,000 yuan, don't give it. More than 300,000 yuan? Don't give it. They want a car, a house, luxury goods, jewelry, and cash on top? Sorry, none of it. As long as you refuse to indulge, refuse to give in, and refuse to feed this unreasonable culture, the problem will be solved naturally. We don't need to go around complaining that women are materialistic, or lamenting that modern marriages have become corrupted. What matters most is that you yourself stand tall and hold the line. If you do that, others won't dare to oppress you anymore.
彩礼钱不攒了，不打算结婚了，老铁，真的。
I really don't plan to save up for bride price anymore. And I don't plan to get married either. Brothers, I mean it. Just look at what kind of era we're living in now. Making money is harder than climbing to the sky. The monthly salary we get is barely enough to cover our basic expenses. And you're still thinking about getting married? Still thinking about saving for bride price? I honestly don't get it. Why would you willingly hand over 100,000 plus yuan, or even 200,000 plus yuan, to someone else for nothing? And nowadays, bride price isn't just over 100,000 yuan. Many places open their mouths and ask for over 200,000 yuan, as if you're buying a wife. I want to ask you, after working so hard to save all that money, shouldn't it be used to improve your own life? Why force yourself to cater to a relationship that might not even be suitable for you? Just to marry a woman whose values don't align with yours, whose soul isn't a match for yours, and then live day after day just going through the motions. Waking up every morning to face a partner who mentally drains you, eating and sleeping together in repetition. Your entire life trapped in this kind of boring, monotonous marriage cycle. Don't you think a life like that is completely meaningless? And do you really think getting married is the end of it? You still have to buy a house. Just thinking about these expenses scares me. In my hometown, even if you're willing to become a live-in son-in-law and marry into the woman's family, her side will still demand that you bring at least 80,000 yuan with you. But even with that arrangement, you'll still eventually have to buy a house, right? And houses easily start at hundreds of thousands of yuan, and in big cities, it's easily over 1 million. Brothers, I've figured it out now. I'm not buying a house, absolutely not. Renting works just fine, doesn't it? You can rent a nice and comfortable place, move whenever you want, it's flexible and free. Look at those so-called 70-year property rights houses in China. Has any of them ever actually lasted the full 70 years? A lot of buildings start having all kinds of problems even before they hit 50 years. Leaky roofs, cracked walls, broken elevators. You're basically praying for decent quality. And you'll still be carrying a huge mortgage every day just to survive. It's really not worth making life so hard for yourself.
Sometimes I really don't get it. Some girls, when it comes to the stage of talking about marriage, suddenly start raising the price out of nowhere, suddenly asking for more bride price, as if they're desperate to sell themselves at a higher value. Like the more they ask for, the more they're worth. Don't you think maybe deep down they're actually afraid they might really get married? So they deliberately pull this trick just to set up some obstacle for themselves. For example, some couples originally agreed on a bride price of 188,000 yuan, and then out of the blue, it gets bumped up to 288,000 yuan, forcefully adding another 100,000 yuan. What's the point of doing this? I really don't understand what she's thinking. What's the meaning behind suddenly increasing the bride price by this 100,000 yuan? Is it for the so-called sense of security? But whether a man truly loves you, does that really have anything to do with you suddenly asking for this extra 100,000 yuan? Whether or not you feel secure, didn't you already have a clear idea during the time you were dating him? When it comes to the moment of marriage and you suddenly raise the bride price, this kind of behavior will only lead to one result, that your future marriage will not be happy, no matter whether the price increase ends up going through or not. If it does go through, the man may hand over the money, but there will definitely be a thorn in his heart, and sooner or later, this will become the trigger for future conflict after marriage. If the price increase fails, and the two end up breaking down during the negotiation, and the man ultimately doesn't agree, but the two of you still go through with the wedding on the surface, there will still be discomfort in your hearts, planting a deeper hidden danger. There's another even worse outcome. The bride price negotiation falls apart, and the couple directly breaks up. So I really want to ask, girls, are you really trying to get married? Or are you just trying to stop yourself from getting married? Isn't this like you're actually afraid you might really succeed in getting married? So you just go ahead and sabotage yourself? Sometimes when I think about it, it's honestly pretty ironic. What do you think about this kind of last-minute bride price increase? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I'm really looking forward to hearing your voice. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one.